when you have desire, which life will continue to help focus within you, and you're not contradicting your desire with a belief that opposes it. I want this, and I believe that it is in the process of becoming, and I am satisfied with where it is right now at this phase along my path. Now that's the perfect emotional vibrational stance. When you recognize that there is always going to be something more that you will want, you will never be in a place of completion ever. So as long as you are happy in your eternal incompletion, then you can live happily ever after. But if you need a condition to change, if you need a situation to be different, if you need that phone to stop ringing before you can be happy, then you're, as Esther says, screwed. Because there are always conditions that are going to be out of your control. In fact, more conditions are out of your control than are in your control when you take on the whole of everything that you may be giving your attention to. So the key to living happily ever after, having all of the success that you were born to have, and by success we mean alignment, joy, and everything that will follow that, which is everything you desire. The key to that is understanding that you are a vibrational being, first and foremost. You are beautifully manifested in your flesh, blood, and bone. Your ability to see and hear and smell and taste and touch this magnificent time-space reality is something that you came for too. In other words, you came for this leading edge manifestation. And the manifestations of all of the things that surround you, the experiences, the people, the life, all of that is leading edge manifestation that you came specifically for. You didn't come to sit over in a corner and meditate all day. You came to live life fully, to focus fully within it. You came to flow your consciousness into this time-space reality, but you also intended something that most humans are not very good at accomplishing yet. You intended to tune yourself to the frequency of the whole of who you are, so that the whole of who you are is having this moment in time. And that requires a handful of things. First, you got to understand that you are vibrational and that the entire universe is. Next, you have to understand that the way you feel is the key to your understanding what your vibrational output is, what it is in relationship to what you want, and what it is in relationship to who you really are, to the trajectory of who you really are. Who were you when you made the decision to come into this time-space reality, to focus into this body? Who were you as a consciousness? You were consciousness who knew your value, who came with great interest. You knew your worthiness, you knew your capability, you knew the potential of being here. And when you get off track from knowing who you are, from knowing your value, from appreciating where you are and who you are, then you begin to practice vibrational frequencies. They come to you in the form of the thoughts that you think. Eventually they become beliefs, because all a belief is a thought that you keep thinking, is a well-practiced thought. So sometimes, in fact often, you come into your physical body, and instead of being aware of the trajectory from which you have come, the trajectory of the energy that is focused to you and through you, instead you care more about how others who are walking around in their physical bodies are seeing you. You care more about what their response to you is than you care about, and here's the important word, than you care about your own source energy response to who you are. Your source energy response to who you are is steady. You are loved, you are appreciated, you are understood, you are backed up, you are supported, you are known, you are pure positive energy from the perspective of source who sees you, hear it, unconditionally. Source knowing your value regardless of where you stand in any moment in time. But for you, often you don't stand in an unconditional place. You come into a situation and sometimes you respond to the condition of where you are. When the gang gathered last night getting this room ready for you, the air wall was up here, and there wasn't room for all of you and all of this. And the contract that they'd signed clearly stated that there were to be 400, but a lot of you made the decision at the last minute. Did you notice? Over 100 of you made the decision at the last minute. And so here's the condition. What we planned for and those who are coming are a very different number. So the condition clearly was not pleasing. Now, everyone knows that it's possible to squeeze you all in. Now you look at it, though, it doesn't really look as possible as it looked last night, did it? There is this square dance area up here that could have been utilized, but for the most part, the room was not big enough. It had not been planned to be big enough because you were underestimated in your enthusiasm for this gathering. So there was a condition that had to be reconciled, and it had to be reconciled at the last minute. There wasn't time to go sit by the beach and think pleasant thoughts about the dolphins. And Esther is thinking, Abraham's going to talk all day long about unconditional love. I know they are. And here we are in a condition that we do not love. And we cannot take our attention away from the condition because we are up against it. And that's what happens to you sometimes, isn't it? Is that you walk into a situation that is the result of the momentum that has been moving along. And now you're standing there in the middle of it. And if you are like most humans, you respond to the condition. But here's the thing that matters most. What do you do next? Someone said the other day, Abraham, how does one? She meant, how do I? But how does one? I have a friend. How does one get rid of doubt? And we said, you get rid of it before you get it, which is totally annoying. Because once you've got it, Abraham, you squirrely ghost. How do you get rid of doubt? Well, doubt is the way you feel when you're focused upon something and have been for a while that you believe that is contrary to who you really are and what you really want. All negative emotion means exactly that. Your life has caused you to expand into a new vibrational becoming. How do those words set with you? Do you like knowing that you are constantly becoming something that is more? But the tricky thing about that is, since you are constantly becoming something that is more, you've got to vibrationally figure out how to vibrationally keep up with what you have vibrationally become. Did we mention that you're vibrational? In other words, you cannot expand as life will constantly cause you to do and not keep up with your own expansion and feel good at the same time. So you have to care about the way you feel. That's the way you keep up with your expansion. But caring about the way you feel means doing something about the way you feel regardless of the condition. And that's where the term unconditional love comes in. Humans have been using the phrase for a very long time, and hardly any of you really understand what it means. You think unconditional love means look at some rascal who is really behaving in a bad way and just don't say anything about it. Don't rat him out. Don't talk to somebody else about him. Don't get him fired. Just love him unconditionally as you despise his behavior and most other things about him. And we say, that's maybe what you might call tolerance. In other words, you're putting up with it. You're not freaking out about it, but it is not unconditional, because this condition that you are focused upon is an opinion that differs from the opinion that the source within you holds about it, because the source within you is holding an unconditional point of view. Well, before this day is over, you're going to understand completely why we from source are able to hold things from an unconditional viewpoint. We'll give you a statement that you may be ready to receive, and then we'll fill in the gaps as we continue over the next few hours. But the reason that we are able to focus upon any situation unconditionally is because the current conditions or the what isness of whatever it isness doesn't mean diddly squatness. In other words, what is doesn't matter, because what is only a temporary reflection of the vibration that you got going on. So we want to explain to you what we mean. You were source energy before you came into this physical body. And a part of you is focused here in this physical body, but a larger part of you is still non-physically focused. You are source energy, and a part of that source energy is focused here and now. So in your human form, you sift through, you know what you don't want, you know what you do want, you continue to sift through the data, and you constantly, whether you know you are doing it or not, are launching rockets of desire. We call them rockets of desire. They're your personal preferences. When someone's rude, you want them to be nicer. When you're rude, you want to be nicer. When you don't have enough money, you want more money. In other words, life just causes you to sift and sort and launch these rockets. So this vibrational becoming is happening constantly. And it is a vibrational becoming. Now, it hasn't manifested yet, therefore it's unconditional. You see what we're getting at? It hasn't manifested into conditions for you to observe. It hasn't manifested into a condition that is unpleasant or into a condition that is pleasant. It's a vibrational rocket of desire that has created. If you've been listening to us for a while, you've seen all of our creative ways of trying to explain to you this stuff that is not physical into this, what we've been calling a vibrational reality. We even gave it the name of a vortex. It's this vibrational state of being that is the precursor to everything else that is coming for you. So this vibrational state of being, which is where your inner being stands, it's where we stand, it's who you really are, has not yet manifested. It has become in terms of an idea. It has become in terms of a hope or a dream. There's enough in your vortex to keep you busy for 20 or 30 lifetimes. In other words, it is the beginning of that which you are. And you know that vortex existed before you were even born into your physical body, because there was a projection of intention from non-physical. There was a vibrational reality that had so much to do about you before you were even born into this physical body. Do you see what we're getting at? This vibrational precursor of that which is you. It was like the vibrational plan. It was like the vibrational probability. It's the vibrational reality. So now you're here in your physical body. You're adding to this vibrational reality. The question that we want to help you ask and answer for yourself is, how much of a vibrational gap is there between the things that life has caused me to ask for and the things that I believe, the things that I practice in my thought? And you can tell, two ways you can tell. One is by the way you feel. If you're joyful, there's no gap. If you're feeling appreciation, there's no gap. If you're angry, quite a big gap. That's one way. You can tell by the emotions that you feel. But the other way is you can tell by how things are manifesting. Because when who you are and what you want and what you think on a regular basis are in the same vibrational frequency, it's manifesting all around you. Others can see it and hear it and smell it and taste it and touch it too. It is a reality. It is a what is. It is a manifestation. You want to call it reality. It is real in the sense that others see it too. But we so want you to understand that before there is a reality, the way you want to call it reality, there is a vibrational reality. And that vibrational reality is filled with all that you have become and are becoming. And you have the ability, if you understand what we're talking about here, to close that gap and have what you want. We wrote this book called Getting into the Vortex. And you listened to us for a while about it with an enormous amount of patience, we thought, because we're telling you, just get in the vortex, get in the vortex. That's where everything you want is. And then you began getting a little feisty with us, demanding things like, how do we get into the vortex? And we would say to you, everything you want is in there. Everything that you want. Your lover is there. Your lovers are there. All of the money that you want is there. That new car that you want is there. Everything that you want is there. Everything that you want, everything that you have become in terms of desire is there. And then you began saying things to us like, well, okay, I accept that there is a reality. You wave Esther's arm around and you look at something that we can't see and you tell us that everything that we want is in there. So just tell me, Abraham, how do I get my money out of the vortex and into the bank?